Hello everyone, welcome to the village of words. The word relation for this video is meaningless, no concern. The most underrated common saying is that shit means someone who does not matter. But the thing is, everything is a concern, including excrement. If feces did not matter, people would have thrown it all over the place. But indeed, feces is a concern. From the toilet, feces is sent down to the sewer and then is stored elsewhere. But ideally, one should not concern oneself over something meaningless. One should concern oneself over things that are important. Firstly, I have been watching David Wood's content for a while. I seek truth, therefore I like David Wood's criticism of Islam. But nowadays, I realize that David Wood and some Christians are banking on Islamophobia. The fear that Islam would outpopulate and take over the West. So, David Wood's target audience must be those in the West. While David Wood considers it important, I do not consider Muslims are a concern in the West. I consider Muslims a minority in the West, so why is it a concern? But those Christians' propaganda says as if Islam would outpopulate them. And that is how those Christian preachers makes money, by using Islamophobia. Anyway, I assure you, even if people do not value you and wants you expelled, regardless, you are a concerning issue to them. That's why they want you out. Just like Islamophobia in the West. Life is strange. Even though we have special people that should be remembered, yet many people focus on propaganda, fear, and hating others. It is like a solely great way to make money is by propaganda and hate. And propaganda targets loners and the minority, uniting the hearts of the majority against the minority. Next, I once think I'm a loser and I have no meaning. But I become unemployed only because of schizophrenia. Regardless, with schizophrenia, I feel like someone is coming and visiting me. How schizophrenia comes to me shows that how I am concerned for them. So how can I feel meaningless when something like schizophrenia often visits me? And nowadays, I do not consider being unemployed is meaningless. Especially if one is a bookworm or one who reads religious scripture. To me, the truth is more important than lies. So, how is a seeker of truth meaningless? Not to mention, the majority people cannot even be unemployed for a period and read. Only some lone special people can be unemployed and read books or watch videos. Only loners can do things where other people cannot. Recently, I realized remembering Hitler is important and has meaning. While the European Union has some disputes over remembering Hitler, but I consider the Holocaust is a symbol of excessive propaganda. I believe it was the German newspaper propaganda that causes the Holocaust. All of the past genocides is a symbol of blood-stained propaganda. Today's Israel-Palestine issue would have resulted a massive war except nowadays no one is willing to sacrifice the economy like Hitler did. So today's propaganda is nothing but money, a publicity stunt, and a comedy. After that, one should not concern over something meaningless. Yet, most often people get married without any purpose. The marriage vow is only to follow each other. There is no plans for the child, nor the purpose for a great cause. And similarly, paying taxes and working has no meaning except for money. A salaryman pays tax without knowing what it is used for. And even if a salaryman disagrees how the tax is being used, the salaryman is still forced to pay the tax. And evading from paying tax will make you a criminal. If one hates the government, it is better being unemployed. That is, if one can somehow withstand the pressure of being unemployed. Even though my schizophrenia comes and visits me, but it does not mean my schizophrenia listens to me. I believe my schizophrenia does not listen to anything that I had said. My schizophrenia comes to me to talk about their own things and delusions. I hear my own schizophrenia and I have my own knowledge, questions, and rebuttal. But in the end, to me, my schizophrenia's delusions just sounded stupid to me. Yet, my schizophrenia kept repeating itself even though I have debunked it. So even if I am a concern to schizophrenia to come and visit me, my schizophrenia only comes to me to talk alone by themselves. Regardless, I realize my schizophrenia does not hear anyone else. My schizophrenia calls me alone, but does it hear the minority Indians living in my country? My schizophrenia says my dad is someone else, but does it hear orphans? Hence, I conclude my schizophrenia does not hear anyone else really. Next, there is propaganda that focuses on hate instead of loving one's most beloved. People rather sacrifice their time for propaganda instead for studying God. However, I think most people would rather sacrifice for truth instead of lies. But the thing is, most people are just ignorant and stupid. The world is full of nonsense, trials. And most people ends up following nonsense. Conclusion, there should be no concern over meaningless things. Yet, there are many people who follows nonsense. Thus, even nonsense things are a concern. That's all for this video. Hit like, share, or comment down below.